Chapter 2: The Pain of Hiding Your True Self. The most painful and scariest thing in the world is to look in the mirror and not recognize the person staring right at you. The false hope that someday someone will magically show up, and the fear of looking like a weirdo makes us do things that we never intended to do. Since childhood, we have learned that the kid who is alone is a weirdo. They are alone because no one chose them. We don't want to seem a weirdo. We don't want people to think that no one chose us, so what do? We start becoming like an ideal version of whom everyone loves. We start saying yes to things that we hate. We start dressing up in clothes that make us uncomfortable or are out of our budget but at the same time helps us get noticed, accepted, and acknowledged. We start speaking the words we find cringe. We start saying things that are most acceptable and popular. We start doing the things that make us look like everyone else so that we don't come out as weird. We indeed become an ideal version of a happy, cute little human who everyone adores or at least no one makes fun of. But step by step, as we become like everyone else, we go far away from who we truly are. The more thought you give to what people think of you, the less attention you give to what you want, what you like, what you think, how you would like to enjoy life, and more importantly, what makes you you. It's like becoming a people pleaser without realizing it. The gap between who you truly were and who you have become in the hope to fit in grows so much that even you find it difficult to recognize yourself. And that gives birth to the root of loneliness. People start becoming like the most acceptable version in the hope to find their tribe, that they lose their real selves. And that is the reason why we call and spend with ourselves lonely. Loneliness is not when you don't have people around. Loneliness occurs when you cannot find yourself inside you. The moment you feel the loss of your real self, that's when loneliness makes a home inside you. That's the worst kind of loneliness where you might be surrounded by people yet you feel lonely. It's like you cannot feel yourself, like you're not there anymore. And do you know what's even more ironic? It starts with you trying to become someone you're not because you wanted to fit in, but it leaves you hating being with yourself. And tell me something, how can anyone accept a person who doesn't accept themselves? How can anyone love to spend time with a person who hates spending time with themselves? Where does it leave you? Nowhere. In the race of achieving people's acceptance and love, you end up losing yourself. I spent the majority of my life trying to be nice to people so that I can be an ideal version. I said yes to outings when I wanted to stay at home and read books. I kept talking and smiling when I wanted to say that I'm tired or I have got some work to do, so I will catch up later. I even dressed up when I wanted to go casual, all of it so that I could be what people wanted me to be. However, what I didn't realize at that point was that I may have become an ideal version for others, but what about myself? What do I think of myself? What are my opinions about myself? What do I like and what do I don't? What are my fears? What are some things that I want to do in my day to day life, yet I don't because I have become an expert in silencing my inner voice? And I know I'm not alone in this. We all are the same. Since childhood, we have competed against each other. Whose child is cutest or smarter or more intelligent? Either we try to be a perfect version of ourselves for our parents so that they can be proud of us, or we try to appear cool and fun so that we can be a part of the most popular group in college. We ran in this race for so long that our real selves couldn't keep up with our pace of changing personalities. Our real self is hidden deep inside under the layers of manners and etiquette. We do the things that seem cool instead of trying new things that our soul wants. I'm a pro at that. I want to learn a bunch of new things, but I don't have time. Yet if any of my friends call me and share their shit, I will be all ears so that they have a shoulder to cry on. What we don't realize is that just as we stop talking to people who ignore us, similarly, our souls stop communicating with us. And one day, when you're alone, with no one to hang out with or click sassy pictures with, you find spending time with yourself painful. Why? Because there is so much hidden that if you sit down to uncover the layers, years will go by, but you wouldn't be able to find the real you. That's why I say there are some days when you miss yourself more than you have ever missed anyone else. I'm no expert in psychology, nor am I a therapist who can talk about what goes inside a human brain, but I'm a human and I know what goes inside a human's heart. We all are trapped in the same cycle of pleasing people around us so that we are more accepted and appreciated. We ignore what we are feeling because who has time for that? We don't do what gives us real joy because that's probably old school. The burden gets heavier with each passing day. With every day, your real self goes far away from you. Your own images become blurry, and it becomes painful to take a look deep inside yourself. I've made these mistakes and I don't want you to do that. So, in the next few chapters, we will discuss how you can become more you, which will help you turn your alone time into solitude.